What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. We got a lot for you guys in this video. Check this out. Is Big Pharma being deceptive about their bivalent virus boosters? Well, the Wall Street Journal thinks so, and apparently studies show they failed to live up to their promises, but vaccine makers and experts keep pushing them, according to multiple sources. We'll go over that in this video. Also, China gives us an update and tells the US to, quote, remain calm as the surveillance video found over the United States that's the size of 3 buses flying over Montana, the United States, and Canada. Beijing says, quote, it is a responsible country and has no intention of violating territory and airspace, but did not say whether the balloon was theirs or not at this point. Yeah, but they want us to remain calm. Let me know your thoughts on this. Yeah, China has asked the U.S. to remain cool headed, quote, after a surveillance balloon was seen flying over America's territory sensitive military facilities in Montana and Canada. Chinese foreign spokesperson has said that Beijing has no intention to violate other countries' sovereignty and airspace. Quote, we are gathering and verifying the facts. We hope that relevant parties will handle the matter in a cool headed way, said their foreign ministry spokesperson. Yeah, and this comes after Ukraine is basically pleading for most of the world's help, as they're saying that Russia is amassing 500,000 troops on the border for a new offensive on the 1 year anniversary coming up for the 1 year mark, which will be on February 24th. Check this out. Yeah, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Thursday gave a stark message to the West when he forecasted that the Kremlin was building up its forces to take, quote, revenge, saying, quote, now Russia is concentrating its forces. We all know that. It is preparing to try to take revenge, not only against Ukraine, but against a free Europe and the free world. Let me know what you think that means. Ukrainian defense minister told the French media on Wednesday that Russia had 500,000 troops ready for an attack to come in the next coming weeks. That number is far higher than 300,000 new enlisted soldiers Russian President Vladimir Putin called up in the past autumn. Officially, they announced 300,000, but when we see the troops at the borders, according to our assessments, it's much more. They said, quote, we should understand that the threat of a new and another offensive will remain until we defeat Russia. The warnings are picking up ahead of the war's 1 year anniversary on February 24th. Russian forces have actually made significant advances around the eastern city of Bakhmut over the past 2 weeks, their biggest gain in the war since the summer, which they've lost a lot of ground since then, are looking to finally take the city and push past the incremental gains into the bigger battlefield wins. Now, remember that when Russia initially did the invasion, which they said they weren't going to do, remember when the war first started and they put it was like 100,000 and I think it got up to 150,000 troops on the border. Remember all the people that said, "Oh, Russia's not going to invade," and I remember saying, "Why do you think they have all these troops on the border?" Remember all the people that said, "Oh, it's just fear mongering. It's just fear mongering. They're not going to invade Ukraine." And I think I remember saying to all you guys, I was saying, well, why do you think they have over 100,000 troops right on the border? What do you think they're planning to do? Yeah, I remember that one. That was 150,000 maybe at most. So now they have 300 to 500,000 new troops that they're amassing. Now, a lot of them are newly trained. They're not like, vets that have experience. A lot of them are people that are drafted against their will because they were literally drafted and didn't have a choice to join. You guys can let me know your thoughts on that. But nonetheless, this is at least twice to three times more troops than they had before. So, you guys can let me know your thoughts on that. Yeah, you can see here we're getting a lot of new information about this. The Wall Street Journal has this big article here, and it's causing a lot of buzz here. This big headline: the deceptive campaign for bivalent virus boosters. Studies show they failed to live up to their promise, but vaccine makers and experts keep pushing them. And I'm seeing a lot of similar stuff like this here. Bivalent boosters offer no extra protection, studies suggest here. And this is why I like to show you guys this stuff right here on the screen so you can see the details of this stuff. So it's not, me just, talking out of the left side or the right side of my mouth or anything like this. But look at what is being said here. The new updated vaccine boosters intended to defend people against the emerging Omicron variants don't appear to provide any better protection than the original shot does. Two new studies find. Yeah, you guys can let me know your thoughts here on this. The new mRNA bivalent boosters produced by Moderna and Pfizer only attack the virus about as well as the company's first wave vaccines. According to a blood testing study led by renowned virologist Dr. David Ho, a professor of microbiology and immunology at Columbia University in New York City. The bivalent shots also failed to promote higher antibody levels or a better immune response than the original vaccines. So they failed to promote higher antibody levels or a better immune response. So to me, that sounds worse. You guys can let me know your thoughts on this. According to another study led by Dr. Dan Baruch, director of the Center for Virology and Vaccine Research at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center in Boston. Both studies were published online in January and the New England Journal of Medicine. Together, the two studies suggest, quote, that with this rapidly evolving virus, vaccines developed for different strains are not going to add a huge difference in the terms of protection, said Dr. Greg Poland, director of the Mayo Clinic's Vaccine Research Group. It appears that human immune systems, quote, imprint after exposure to the first mRNA vaccine, experts are saying. They are primed to respond to aspects of the original strain that are shared by all the variants, rather than the novel mutations sported by newer variants. But here's one of the problem. US taxpayers paid $3.2 billion for 105 million doses of this new bivalent booster. And another, that's just for the Pfizer one, and another $107 billion for 66 million doses of the Moderna bivalent booster. Yeah. And of course, this comes at a time when, we're seeing members in Congress want to cut, and, save all this money in all sorts of places, and they're just, spending money everywhere, right? And get this, advisors to the US Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, and the US Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, now say they were not provided real world data about how well these new bivalent boosters kept people from actually catching the virus prior to the booster's approval. Yeah, so this is the problem. They're not provided this data, they're making decisions, they're spending billions and billions of dollars, and now they're doing tests on it after all this money has been spent. Yeah. So you guys can let me know your thoughts on this. The other problem here is that this virus is constantly mutating, literally almost every single month. It feels like. You guys can let me know your thoughts on this. In fact, I just did another video about how there's this antiviral drug out there that might be causing some of these mutations. That's right. And I'll link you to that video here. You can watch that next. If you haven't seen that, it's absolutely crazy here. You should watch that next. So if you're new to our channel, make sure to click the subscribe button down below, then the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos. I cover a lot of things that the mainstream news doesn't cover. You won't hear this stuff on your local nightly news here. And that's part of what I do here on this YouTube channel is cover a lot of the stuff here that you need to know about. So make sure to subscribe. Thanks for hitting the like button and share these videos. So with anybody that needs to know this here, I'll keep you up to date here. Here's some videos you can watch next. Here's that video about the virus spreading because of that antivirus. It's really crazy here. You can click that video, watch that next. Or here's some good and bad news from the feds. It just came out here. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.